welcome to this second video on how to trade AUDUSD. Now in the first video I showed you guys how I trade AUDUSD buy just by using AUDUSD and AUDSGD, and I was able to show you guys how I was able to spot a buy, which is this buy right here. This buy right here from on Wednesday after the break of Friday's low. Now for everybody asking what broker I use XNES, and in my link there will be, in my description there will be a link to XNES, so you can sign up with them. I use them for all my charts, again because not all brokers offer the same chart, so again you have to be very cautious of that particular fact that some brokers, their chart is usually different. But I use XNES for all my backtesting, so my strategy is based off XNES chart, not any other broker. The other brokers are over the same thing, but XNES gives me everything I need. So you could find the link in my description and you could sign up if you don't have an XNES account. But I was able to show you how I spot a buy using AUDUSD and SGD USD. I'm sorry, how I spot a buy using AUDUSD and AUDSGD. So you could see, like I mentioned in the first video, anytime there is a setup like this, it shows me that the buy is really going to be very strong, meaning it might take 2 to 3 days to complete. And as you can see, this is a very good example of that kind of trade. Now in future videos I'll be showing you guys how I'll determine how far this will go, or when to jump out, or when to exit or enter a trade. Also in future videos I'll be showing you guys how I use price action to know exactly at what price to enter. I don't just enter the market at any price. There usually is a particular time, right? And I'll be covering all those in future videos. And don't forget, these are the pairs we'll be trading, and I stay in Nigeria, so usually AUD market opens I think around 12 a.m. and usually we have the news, depending if there's daylight saving or not, by 2:30 a.m. for AUD and by 2:30 p.m. for USD. Now all these are things you should consider when trading. You have to consider, okay, what am I trading? Okay, I'm trading AUD. Now I'm trying to buy AUD, so most likely this buy is going to start during the Asian session. Now we're going to be covering all those in depth in future videos, but in this video I just want to show you how we are able to spot this sell here, which I mentioned from the last video. And the reason why we're able to spot this particular sell was because, okay, since it's a sell, meaning we're buying USD, meaning we're looking at USD pairs. And don't forget, I gave you 4 pairs, and just stay with me here, right? And I mentioned in the first video how each pair is affected by the other, right? So I think this is not going to work. Let me just use my notepad here. So we have the AUDUSD, we have the USD CAD. Now they both move in opposite direction, because as you can see we have USD on the right here and we have USD on the left here, meaning anytime USD is buying, AUDUSD will be selling and USD CAD will be buying, right? So this is what we have here, a sell. So you can see 3rd of April, and this was a buy on USD CAD and a sell on AUD USD. Now I will have to obviously zoom out to make this more clearer. If you see clearly, there was no break of this particular level here, right? If you look very closely, you have to look very closely. So there was no break of this high, but you can see that same high on USD CAD was already broken like weeks before, right? And it also broke that same Thursday, right? So, and this was why I was able to determine a short on this particular pair, and you can see how far this sold. I think this sell went in over, I had my entry right at this point, If I'm able to, I'll be adding a screenshot of that particular trade. So this went over 440 pips, right? So it went down almost 7%. So basically this is how I spot a sell on AUDUSD and a buy on USDCAD using USDCAD and AUDUSD. For a buy, remember I mentioned AUDUSD and AUDSGD. I don't want to overcomplicate this thing, so I'll be taking it step by step. And so on the next video, I'm going to be showing you how I determine if I will be jumping on a sell a day before or 2 days before. I probably will know if this is going to be a new trend for a sell or a new trend for a buy. So see you all in the next videos.